Malcolm Jamal Warner warned us before he died. If something happens to Mitt, was not an accident. They erased the voicemail, cremated him in 24 hours. And now, Karen is missing too. This is no longer a theory. This is a cover-up, and it's bigger than anyone imagined. He begged them to listen. He warned them, but no one believed him until the tapes leaked. Until Karen vanished. Until a whisper from inside Hollywood said, "They've done it before. Don't let them do it again. You need to hear this story before they bury it again." He said, "They're watching me." A week later he was dead. The voicemail, gone. The files, deleted. And now Karen's gone too. This isn't a coincidence, it's a pattern. And the truth. It just leaked. Malcolm Jamal Warner did not just pass away quietly. Days before his death, he left a chilling message in his own voice. "They are watching me. If something happens, it was not an accident." No one took it seriously until now. Karen Molina White has just broken her silence, and what she is saying could change everything. She is calling out the official version of events, saying it is full of lies, and by the way she speaks, it is clear she knows more than she is letting on. Karen is no longer buying the official story that Malcolm's death was just some freak accident. And truthfully, she is far from alone. Whispers are growing louder. Every day, people are digging deeper, questioning everything, and the puzzle pieces are starting to look more like a setup than a tragedy. Talks of fake medical records are spreading fast. Some even say the files were edited, tampered with, or rewritten entirely to hide key evidence. Others claim important phone calls from Malcolm's final hours have mysteriously disappeared from his phone log. Deleted. Gone. As if someone did not just want him gone but wanted his voice, his truth, and his final moments erased. But the most suspicious part, the rumors about cash transactions happening late at night in hotel parking lots. It sounds like something straight out of a crime thriller, but according to insiders, there were envelopes stuffed with money being passed between hands quietly, far from cameras or witnesses. It all points to something far bigger than what anyone originally thought, and that now infamous voicemail Malcolm left before he died. The one that sent chills down the spine of anyone who heard it. That was not the only message. According to sources close to Karen, she is sitting on a vault of unreleased audio files, voicemails, recordings, and maybe even conversations that Malcolm captured without others knowing. Some say one of those files contains names. Real names, people who were directly tied to the night he died. If that is true, then Karen holds the kind of evidence that could change everything. We are not talking about suspicion anymore. We are talking about potential confessions straight from the lips of those who never thought they would be exposed. Karen is not doing this for attention. She is doing this because she made a promise to Malcolm, and to herself. She would not let his story get buried like so many others. She would not let powerful people cover their tracks and walk away like nothing happened, and most of all, she would not allow silence to replace justice. The more she speaks, the more people start to remember things differently. Small details they once ignored now feel like warning signs. Posts Malcolm made that seemed strange at the time. The friends he suddenly stopped talking to. The times he looked over his shoulder in public. It all adds up now. Social media is on fire with theories, timelines, voice memos, and even location tags. Strangers are doing the work that investigators refused. Journalists are circling back, reopening their old files, and double-checking what they were told. Everyone wants to know what really happened to Malcolm. And here is the thinker might just be the person who forces that answer into the light. She is not backing down. Not when people keep messaging her with support. Not when private investigators start offering help for free. Not when Malcolm's old fans begin trending hashtags demanding justice. The story is no longer about just one woman fighting for her brother. It has become something much bigger. A mirror showing us how easily the truth can be bent, blurred, and broken when money and fear take over. This is a warning. To anyone watching this and thinking it will all blow over, think again. People are awake now, and they are not forgetting. Not this time. Karen's determination, backed by the voices of thousands who believe her, is becoming a wave that is hard to stop. If she releases those other recordings, especially the one with names, it will not just shake headlines. It will rattle the very foundation of those who thought they were untouchable. So if you are reading this, remember, this is no longer a mystery, it is a movement. A fight for truth in a world where lies have lived comfortably for too long. Karen is not chasing revenge. She is chasing the truth, and she is almost there. Stay tuned, because the next bombshell It could change everything. Hollywood is nervous. A well-placed insider said, if Karen shares what she has, some careers and maybe even lives will be destroyed. So ask yourself, if this really was just an accident, then why are powerful people acting so scared? Karen is standing her ground, and what she is about to reveal might shake the industry to its core. They told us Malcolm passed peacefully in his sleep, but Karen's latest reveal has torn that story apart. For years, people believed he died from some quiet health issue. No red flags. No long investigation. No noise. Just silence. Karen tried to keep her head down, smiling for the public, for the fans, for the memory of the Cosby Show. But all of that changed when she heard Malcolm's final voicemail. The one that mysteriously vanished from his phone before authorities arrived. In that message, he told Karen that someone was following him. He warned her, if something happens to me, Karen, it was no accident. She believes that message was erased on purpose, and since then, people close to him have been acting strange, avoiding questions, and staying quiet. An anonymous Reddit post from a former studio assistant said, we all knew Malcolm was digging into things he should not have. He was warned, but he kept going. Another insider who worked with him on an HBO project said Malcolm had been filming a dark documentary about child actors. It was a topic many in Hollywood wanted buried. Suddenly, all his meetings were canceled. Deals were dropped. Friends stopped picking up his calls. Karen remembers seeing him the night before he died. He looked exhausted, nervous, and paranoid. He kept checking the windows, and he triple-locked the door behind her. The next morning he was gone. Authorities said he died of natural causes and cremated him within 24 hours. No toxicology tests. No second opinion. His family had no time to even ask questions. Karen was not told until it was too late. The man who arranged the cremation was a stranger no link to the family, and he vanished afterward. Things get even darker. A producer from FX who asked to stay anonymous said Malcolm had contacted lawyers in the weeks before he died. He was asking for legal protection. He believed his phone was being tapped. Then something big happened. A backup from Malcolm's iCloud account leaked. Inside it was an audio file titled, Just in Case. No one has heard it yet, but Karen has. After listening, she stopped talking to certain Hollywood insiders and told her team she was done with the industry. At a charity event, someone asked her why she looked so sad. She replied, because the man I loved was silenced. Now, Karen is done staying quiet, too. She believes someone made Malcolm disappear, and she says the world deserves to know the truth. There was a heavy silence when Karen placed her phone on the table. Everyone watched as she pressed play. Her voice came through raw and emotional. Malcolm, I told you. You keep messing with those people, and something is going to happen to you. I am done cleaning up after your mess. It was real. No edits. No filters. But what froze everyone was the fear in her voice. Pure fear, Karen whispered. That was 2 days before he died. The room went completely still. A producer slammed his laptop shut. We are not airing this, he said under his breath. But Karen leaned forward, her eyes blazing. You think I care about your show right now? He is gone, and you all want to act like nothing happened. Then, a quiet voice came from the corner, a young assistant. You said those people. Who are they? Karen paused, lips trembling, and softly answered, the names in the credits that nobody ever reads. And suddenly, it all made sense. The same names behind every big project, the quiet power players of Hollywood. The producers, the executives, the money behind the scenes. The ones Malcolm had dared to stand up to for years. Back in 2021, Jamal Warner was quietly fighting a legal battle over royalty money from one of his early sitcom rerun deals. He said the contract was fake, full of tricks, and meant to cheat him, but no one in the media covered it. No news stories. No interviews. Just silence, hush money, and non-disclosure agreements. Everyone else backed off, except Malcolm. He refused to sign anything. Karen, tired and drained, leaned back in her chair. She spoke softly, that voicemail. That was me begging him to stop. I was scared, but he kept going. Someone in the room asked gently, are you saying he was silenced? Karen looked down at the floor. She did not speak. But then, just as the room sank into shock from everything she had said, her phone rang again. It was an unknown number. Karen froze. Answer it, one of the producers whispered. She didn't put it on speaker. A strange, robotic voice came through. You've said too much. End this interview now. There won't be another warning. Then the call ended. No one in the room moved. No one said a word. Karen slowly stood up. Now do you believe me? Panic broke out among the crew. Producers rushed to stop the recording, delete the footage, shut everything down. But one cameraman had been filming privately. He later said it was just in case. That same night, Karen vanished. No posts. No messages. No trace. Then something wild happened. A Dropbox link appeared on a small private forum used by Hollywood freelancers. It stayed live for only 6 hours before it was deleted. But inside were hidden photos, signed studio documents, personal medical records, and one audio file labeled Final Malcolm Confession. In the recording, Malcolm's voice shook. I tried to tell the truth. I really did, but they're bigger than I thought. My lawyer's missing. My bank account's locked. I don't know who to trust anymore. If anything happens to me, just know I didn't do it to myself. The message ended in static. Then a faint whisper, they're watching. The internet went into chaos. TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter blew up. Everyone wanted to know, who are they? What had Malcolm found? And why did Karen disappear after trying to reveal it? One TikTok user posted a video that went viral. She said she recognized one of the shadowy producers Malcolm warned about. She shared side-by-side photos, one from a red carpet event in 2007, and another from a leaked 2019 court file. Same man, different name. Then, someone deep in the industry commented under her post, "They've done it before. Don't let them do it again." Now, people started looking beyond Malcolm. They began connecting dots: similar mysterious deaths, other actors who vanished after filing lawsuits or speaking out about abuse on set. One fan posted a thread of 8 celebrities who either disappeared, stopped acting suddenly, or died under strange circumstances after fighting studios in court. But this time, there was real proof, real documents, real audio, real voices even. Malcolm's sister, who had stayed quiet for years, broke her silence in an emotional Instagram live. Crying, she whispered, "They kept saying he was depressed. But he wasn't. He was scared." Her voice cracked. And now Karen's gone, too. That video reached over 7.2 million views in 12 hours. Then another recording leaked, this time from Malcolm's former therapist. Someone had hacked her cloud storage and released a voice note from 2020 titled, "Patient Jamal, Red Flag Session." The therapist's voice was trembling. She said, he believed hidden messages were being placed into scripts. He said writers were being forced to add strange phrases by producers connected to foreign money. He even saw proof in email chain, but then it disappeared. He wasn't crazy, he was scared, and he didn't need medicine. He needed protection. The voicemail vanished minutes later from every major site. Deleted, flagged, copyright blocked, but users kept re-uploading it, refusing to let it die. The more they tried to bury it, the faster it spread. Now with Karen missing, Malcolm gone, the files leaked, and the therapist silenced, one name kept surfacing. The same name Malcolm spoke in his last message. A man tied to both the studio and the courtroom. The man he feared the most. And then came Karen's final livestream. Her face was tired, eyes full of pain. But her voice was strong. "You think I'll sit quietly while they call my brother's death an accident? You think I'll let them erase what really happened? I know the truth, and I'm not scared anymore." And, just like that, the silence shattered. Social media went wild. Hashtag Justice for Malcolm, Karen speaks, hashtag Malcolm was murdered. These hashtags lit up every platform. Even famous actors, ones who never speak out, shared her clip with captions like, "It's time." But behind the trending noise, something more dangerous was brewing. A whistleblower stepped forward. A man calling himself Z uploaded a hidden video. He said he worked in forensics on Malcolm's case. Voice scrambled. Face in shadows. The medical report the public saw was edited. He said, important pages were removed. The time of death didn't match. There were signs of struggle, bruises, not from a fall, but from being held down. When Karen saw the footage, she broke down. "I begged them to recheck the autopsy," she whispered. "They told me I was imagining things. And now, a stranger risked everything to prove she was not." But then, his video disappeared. Within just 3 hours, the entire post vanished. The account that shared it, deleted. IP address, wiped clean. Even TMZ, which tried to report the story, posted an article, then quietly took it down with no explanation. That is when things took a darker turn. Karen started getting strange phone calls late at night, always from blocked numbers. Her email inbox filled with strange, coded messages. "Stop digging. He was chosen. Let it be. Don't be next." But Karen refused to be scared into silence. Instead, she took action. She officially petitioned the LA coroner's office to reopen Malcolm's case. She did not come empty-handed, submitted a 47-page file filled with contradictions, private texts, and the names of people who allegedly pushed Malcolm's family into accepting the accident version of events. And these were not ordinary names. Included were a powerful studio executive, a retired LAPD chief, and a world-famous actor who worked with Malcolm in the early 2000s, someone Karen now calls the Puppet Master. At this point, it was no longer just about how Malcolm died. This was bigger, something hidden, corrupt, and deeply rooted. "They're serious now," he told her. "They think I said too much on that podcast." When she asked who, he simply replied, "The same ones who took Michael and Prince." That quote shook the entire industry. Suddenly, TikTok and YouTube were flooded with videos comparing Malcolm's final days to Michael Jackson and Prince side-by-side footage. Eerie interview clips and sudden unexplained health scares. Fans were no longer asking quiet questions. They were demanding real answers. And just when the firestorm could not burn any hotter, Karen dropped the final bombshell. Karen stood alone at a press conference, her hands shaking slightly as she held up the photos, Malcolm's original autopsy pictures. "I did not want to show these," she said quietly, "but I have to." She pointed to the bruises around his wrists, a dark mark along his jawline. These did not come from a fall. These came from someone trying to silence him. This was no accident. This was no accident. This was an execution. The crowd gasped. Some reporters cried. Within hours, Twitter exploded. Hashtags flew. Timelines flooded with rage, sorrow, and disbelief. Within just 2 days, the mayor's office released a statement announcing an internal review of Malcolm's case. The LA coroner's office followed with a vague reply, saying they were open to reviewing the findings if new evidence is presented. It was not much, but it was something. Even Malcolm's old co-stars began to stand behind Karen. They posted black squares. Some shared quiet but powerful captions like, "We knew. We just couldn't say anything." But Karen was not finished. Her final words that day hit the internet like a siren. "If something happens to me next, you'll know why. But I am not scared. I already lost my brother. There's nothing left to lose, except the truth." Fade to black. And now that you've heard all of this, how can we stay silent? This was not some Hollywood drama. This was not just betrayal. This was the beginning of something bigger. A spotlight on secrets they tried to bury forever. And if this is what slipped through the cracks, imagine what is still locked away. The courtroom was only the start. The breakdowns were real. The confessions were heartbreaking. And the silence from those who should be speaking up, loud enough to shake the room. Here's the truth. They are watching now. Behind closed doors, powerful people are scrambling. PR teams are rushing to rewrite headlines. Lawyers are making quiet midnight calls. Why? Because they never expected this story to explode like it did. But it has on. It is not slowing down. Now it is your turn. If this story hit you even one step, that like button. If you still believe truth matters, subscribe and stay with us. If you have your own theory, drop it in the comments. The ones who need to see it. They are watching too. This is not gossip. This is not entertainment. This is a movement, and we are just getting started. We will be back with more leaks, new voices, and more truths that they can't hide forever. Until then, stay loud, stay locked in, and never stop asking, what else are they hiding? You saw it here first, and next time it will be even bigger. Stay tuned.